Folks, the NAR settlement has been in force for 2 or 3 weeks now. We should probably start to get a heartbeat or a message about what is going on. What are sellers saying? What are buyers saying? What the heck are agents saying? We're going to have a conversation with the one and only Adrian Hernandez, who covers the Orange County market. Adrian, what's going on, man? You work in a market that is 7-figure median price. So your sellers, when they used to sign up for 3% commission, for the buying agent, that'd be 30 grand, man. We're talking real money. So what are
Real
sellers
money.
saying? What are buyers saying since the NAR settlement went to effect?
Yeah. What's going on, everyone? So it's been a little interesting. We actually saw it change right before the NAR settlement. We're just seeing an overall slowdown, right? We even have a current flip on the market. It's below the median in Orange County. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo that we have on the market. We started at 498. Thinking that I'm sorry, 498, thinking that it would sell, we would get multiple offers. We've had to do a price reduction to 489. It's been 20 days. It's average sales price in Laguna Niguel is about, call it 1.1, 1.2. So it's significantly lower. So we are seeing a little uncertainty in buyers. I don't want to say a lot. We're seeing a lot of uncertainty in buyers. We're seeing a lot of uneducated buyers not knowing how to navigate the waters correctly, which therefore they just sit on the sideline. And then you have a population that has zero idea what's going on, and they walk into an open house and they're asked to sign a form, because now you have to sign open forms walking into an open house, and they're wondering what's going on. They then pull back. So we are seeing there's an emotional mental barrier for sure for right now for what we're seeing. It's not all the way across the board, right? We have another property we got multiple offers on, sold overnight, right? But we are seeing some slowdown, and I would
It's
lie to
really
say that we weren't.
it's really interesting, um, because again, when you talk about this new thing for buyers to sign, right? I didn't know about the open house. I thought open houses were exempt. If they're not exempt, that's even more of an issue. But yeah, a buyer can't just go on Zillow or Redfin, go, "Ooh, I want to go see this $500,000 home because I can afford it." They call an agent or click on the Zillow link or whatever they're doing. Those agents reach out and go, "Hey, oh, by the way, I got to help you sign this buyer agent agreement. And oh, by the way, again, in your market, we're talking real money, right? Even on that
Right.
$500,000 property, you're potentially talking 15 grand.
Right.
And again, if you're an entry level buyer who's maybe got 3% or 5% for an FHA, down payment, you're like, I got 25 grand to buy this, but I don't got an extra 15 to pay you. And they just retreat,
Right.
right? And this is gonna hurt entry level buyers the most. I think
Right.
it's just gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt for a while, unfortunately.
The biggest issue is the knowledge. They aren't aware, the awareness. They aren't aware of what they can and can't do. So like when you walk into an open house, you don't have to sign a full-blown buyer's agreement form, but you do have to sign, they do have non-exclusive forms, right? That's saying I'm
Got
just
it.
walking through the house.
Okay,
But
got it.
even then, right? Even then, they're like, wait, before we would
What?
sign a sign-in
Whoa.
sheet, right? Now you're
Yeah.
asking for my signature, right?
Right.
So it is much different. I think there
Yeah.
needs to
Yeah.
be more awareness. There needs to be proper education. There's so many different views on this thing, right? It's like what's the truth? And that's the problem. So, the
Yeah.
good thing is that you guys follow one reno at a time, and this is the truth.
Yeah. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's really funny. I mean, the consumer is so predictable. And what happens when things appear to be too hard? They pull
Yep.
back. They pull back
Yep.
every time. It
Yep.
used to be easy to be a buyer, right? You go around, you shop, you drive a little car, you get the agent to open the door. It's fundamentally different. It probably went on a scale from 1 to 10 in a buyer's mind, especially a first time home buyer's mind. It's now a 7 or an 8. It's
Right.
just different. And when that happens, they retreat. Now, what's
Right.
really interesting is when you think about the luxury buyers, the well-to-do, they look at
Right.
this as like it's all negotiation. It's just another point of negotiation.
Exactly.
Yeah, you, the buying agent, you're going to get paid. It's my job to work it out with the seller who's going to pay you,
Right.
right? And that's all it is. But the entry level buyer doesn't know that. They haven't been through this a dozen times. They don't
No.
have the extra 15K just in case. And
Exactly.
it actually doesn't shock me that you're seeing this on an entry level listing. Let me just ask you this: 6 months ago, when interest rates were frankly higher, does this $500,000 property sell in 2 weeks or not?
Yeah, it would have been sold. We would have been at 510.
And this is why I think it's a very interesting point that the entry level market has gotten harder, because I don't think there's been, generally speaking, education to
Right.
that first time home buyer, right? First time home buyers, it's buying a home is already nerve wracking,
Right.
right? You're signing up in your case for a $450,000 mortgage for 30 years. And you're going to tell me I have to sign a non exclusive listing agreement or whatever they're called? Yeah,
Right.
man, too hard. Run away, run away. Then we have the
Yeah.
election, we have a recession call. It's like it doesn't take a lot for people to go, too hard, not now, not today.
Right. And that was my next point, is that stacking, right? You have that, then you have the election with the uncertainty. It's just uncertainty over uncertainty over certainty. So
Pull back.
even the people that have to do something, right? Because we always talk about focus on the people that have to do something. We meet the people that have to do something, but there's still that uncertainty, and that uncertainty is what stops them. And it's like,
Yeah, it's going to be really wild, because I see marginal demand stacking, and it's not going to unlock until the spring selling season. So we have 3 4 more months of this, of demand just stacking, which, oh, by the way,
right,
interest rates will be falling, in my opinion. Where
right,
will inventory be? Don't know, because I think we're going to have a lot of cancellations and expireds. So I think listings will be down from today. We'll see. Um, but yeah, like, I'm so glad 2 months ago I called transactions to break the cycle low. It's coming. It's
it's
just
coming.
coming. So
Yeah, you
I
can
know
see
you
it.
got some numbers about SoCal and Orange County. Um, Final thoughts, and let's jump into some numbers.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I was just gonna say. Just on the numbers, you can see, I was, as we're sitting here, I'm scrolling through before I go through everything, and it's crazy. And we're not talking, guys. We're not talking 30 days, 60 days, 90-day gaps, right? We're talking 2 weeks, right? Let's just take a quick look, real fast, at let's take a look at a couple of different counties. Let's first take a look at Orange County.
Okay.
Orange County, we have a current actives of 3,599 properties on the market, right? So
Okay.
3,500 properties on the market. The demand in the last 30 days is 1,470,
Ooh. Okay.
right? The average time on market in days is 73.
Woof.
2 weeks ago, 66.
Wow.
That's just in
That's a
it's just in Orange County.
that's quite a move for 2 weeks, going up a week.
Going up a week, right? Going up a week. And the only one that's stabilized is San Bernardino. San Bernardino has, and this is why, they have current actives of 5,141. Their demand in the last 30 days was 1,578, right? Their average time on market right now is 98 days. 2 weeks ago was also 98 days. As me knowing San Bernardino County, I dive in there, it's because there's a lot of multi-million-dollar houses in San Bernardino County that have yet to move. They're on the
Mm.
market 3 4 years. And this is me
Oh my
personally
gosh.
diving into this data.
Yeah. Again, the bifurcated market is pretty wild to think about. I don't know this market a while, but I'm going to guess San Bernardino's median home price is significantly less than Orange County. Is that
Yeah.
fair?
So, and I'm glad I went with San Bernardino, because those are two drastically different markets, right? Your San Bernardino County, you're maybe 650, 750,
Okay.
right? But
Yeah.
I call it seven. You still have your properties in San Bernardino County at 1, 2, 2 million, three
Sure.
million, 4 million, 5 million, right? There's actually quite a few 5 and over million in San Bernardino County that have been on the market for years, right? So that does skew with the numbers. If we just took a look at like average median sales price, I guarantee you it's less than this. It's probably about 45 days. I would say
Wow.
about 45 days.
So again, I remember these conversations we've had about the SoCal and Orange County market. I seem to recall, correct me if I'm wrong, when we had this discussion, say 2 months ago, days on market were more like the mid 40s, maybe the high 30s. Does that kind of feel right? Can you go back that far, or is it maybe you don't have that data?
I have 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago
Okay.
was It's the same as today. It was 68,
And that's for what market?
and that's for Orange County.
Oh, that's for Orange County.
Yeah. A year ago, we were 24.
There we
Um,
go. That's what I wanted.
yeah. A year ago
That's
was
I wanted
24.
to compare. So year on year, you've gone from 24 days on market to 68. So I would say, well, let me ask you this. You've been in Orange County for a long time. I'm willing to guess that 24 days on market is not normal.
No,
If you
no.
look back over the last decade, what's a more normal number your guess?
40, 40,
Yeah.
45,
Yeah.
roughly.
That would make sense.
Right.
45, 50 days. But to think about this, so it really feels like Southern California real estate is stuck in the mud, right? If you're going to go from 24 to 68 in a year, that's a lot of inventory stacking. The other thing that
A
I think
lot.
is happening in Southern California is you got a lot of what I call wish pricing, right?
Right.
Those properties been on the market 3 years. Those are wish pricing, right? Those properties aren't even getting sniffed anymore, but they're staying on and distorting the numbers. But I think that's happening across LA, right? You got a lot of people that says, "Hey, I'll sell at X," and
Right.
then you know how I know wish pricing? They don't have a markdown. They just stay at the first number for 30 days, 45
Yeah.
days, 60 days, 90 days. What is the average contract time, listing contract in Southern California? Is it 6 months?
Uh, it depends on the agency, 90 days to 6 months.
Yeah.
So 3 to
So
6 months.
it'll be really interesting to see. And I called this months ago. I think expireds and
Oh,
withdrawns are about to go up because, again, it's just right. You list in the spring with 3 or 6 months, they just fall off naturally in the
yep.
winter. And I think that's starting to happen.
So we run TV commercials. We and PPC ads. The biggest number of leads we've been receiving are properties that have been on the market that have been on the market forever, where their agent can't sell them. There is a property in Los Angeles County that was actually listed with an agent. They called us. They said, "Hey, agent's totally fine with it. Come down." We gave them an offer. They called their agent, said, "Sorry, you're fired. Why do we have to go find our own buyer?" And it
Ah,
was $150,000 less than what they had it listed for.
folks, motivated sellers, disrespectful offers. Can I scream that any louder? Sorry if I blew your eardrums out.
No, this is huge. This is
Do
huge.
the work, man. Again, figure out the average in your market. Call it 30 days. Go do a search for every property on the market 60 days or greater. Write some disrespectful offers. What was the starting price for this property?
Nine. What did they put it at? No, I'm sorry. Eight. I want to say it was 880 or 890.
All right, so let's call it 900 for easier math. You got it for so it was at 900, you got it for 150K discount. You bought it for 750. Is that
Seven. I
right?
think we got it for 725, 730
Yeah,
is
so
what
okay,
I think we got it
880,
for.
870. You
Yeah.
got 150K discount by doing what you do, knowing your numbers, writing a disrespectful offer. Now, let me just ask you this. Properties been on the market that long usually have something askew. Maybe it's not updated, maybe it's just on the wrong street, maybe the next door neighbor sucks. What was the what was the wrinkle on this property that made it just not sell? Was it price? I don't
Just
know.
it was just an original condition house. Original condition house that they wishful price from the beginning, and they didn't do the price reductions correctly, and
There you
they
go.
ended up reaching out. They saw us on a TV commercial. They got a mailer. They were going to call the mailer. Saw us on a TV commercial, called us and said, "Hey, this hasn't moved. Can you guys come down?" And we're like, "Well, we typically don't look at properties that are on the market, right? Because some of us are agents. We can't really." They said they're friends of ours. It doesn't matter. Come down. So we had to clarify that. Come down. So we get down there. We throw an offer, right? Just seeing what sticks. They said yes. Called their agent and fired them. Crazy, because we're getting multiple leads every single day that are very similar to that, to prove your point.
Folks, do the work. Figure out your market, figure out the properties that are stale. Beth Traverso said the same thing yesterday in King County. There are some properties that just have a little of on them. She's like, folks, let's start writing some offers, right? Know your numbers, know where it makes sense. Write some. Dude, if you're following one rental at a time, don't you dare pay list price. Don't you freaking dare. Don't you dare pay. Don't pay. Don't pay
Don't do that.
10% of list price. What are you freaking doing? We
Don't
are
do
in a
that to
buy.
Zuber.
We are in a buyer's market. Buyer's market lasts this long. It is your job to take advantage of the buyer's market. We get to February 15th, March 1st, spring selling season, lower inventory, lower rates. The election is over. We know who's in charge. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, seriously, folks, what do you think's going to happen?
Yep. Zuber, you will love this. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Here you go. Perfect. All right. Check this out. So Stephen Thomas, shout out to Stephen Thomas, reports on housing. He even breaks it down into all the, I just noticed this. He gives us Bay Area, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Southern California at the bottom of that housing report.
Nice. Wow, look at that.
Shout out to you, Stephen. You guys reports on housing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Let me see if I can share this. Can I share it? You think it's cool to share?
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully you can see that. Let me see if I can blow it up. Oh, look at that. Like I know how to use technology. So what are we looking at here? Again, who does this so we give him full credit? Stephen Thomas?
This is us. Stephen Thomas, reports on housing.
Stephen Thomas, you're amazing. So let's look at this. As of August 29th, basically Southern California, active listings, total, let's call it 32,000. Pendings, 11. So Southern California is up to 87 days on market. Ugh. 2 weeks ago was 79.
87.
4 weeks ago was 78. A year ago was 60, 69. Okay. That makes sense to me. All right, let's scroll down a little bit, see what else we see. Distressed properties. So distressed properties, what? Foreclosure, short sales, things like that.
Yeah, probate.
Yeah. So folks looking for a housing crash, shut up. 213 total listings. You're a moron if you think that distressed listings are going to be a problem. So thank you, Stephen Thomas. Freaking Crash Bros drive me crazy. All right, let's look at the Bay Area. See if we see anything different. So days on market in the Bay Area are, I don't know, call it 20% less. Now that kind of makes sense to me because of all this AI money, NVIDIA, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Kind of makes sense to me. Man, look at the Bay Area 2 years ago. 28 days. Las Vegas, 125. It's a difference.
Massive difference compared to what, a year ago? Las Vegas went from 125 to 65 in a year.
Yeah. And you know what that was? That was all the iBuyers blowing up.
Right.
That was all the iBuyers blowing up. That's wild. 125 days. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Distressed. Oh my God. Distressed properties for all these 408. Housing crash bros. Oh, you know what? No, here's fun. If you want to be a housing crash bro, what you could say and be accurate, distressed properties are up 400% from 2 years ago. 400%. That is an accurate statement. It's gone from 102 to 408.
Wow.
Oh, Crash Bros, you suck. That's funny.
It's trending.
It's a great report.
That whole, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, what is this? Let's do the math. 408 out of 61,257. Let's do the math just because these guys piss me off because all they're doing is making money for themselves and hurting people. 61,257. Fear. Yeah, that is 0.6%.
0.6.
0.6.
Wow.
Percent.
All right.
Not even 1%. It's barely more than 0.5%. Yeah, so distressed inventory is not going to destroy the housing market, at least not yet. That's crazy. So
anytime soon.
So let me ask you this question. You're an agent. We talked about the NAR settlement. You're flipping properties. Some sell quick, some don't. What do you do as we head into the seasonally slow period, which I would argue it's going to be slower than most, at least for the next 4 months? What does Adrian do with this Rubik's Cube?
Yeah. So number one, we focus on what we can control and what we can't control, right? We can't control what we're going to receive for inbound leads, but we can control what we do for outbound leads and what we do for our follow-up. So our biggest thing is going back through all of the leads that we already have. Going back through everybody, our entire database from the past 2 years, anybody that has given us a pulse, telling us yes, that's the first thing we're doing, right? I believe that a lot of us are sitting in our own acres of diamonds, and I don't think we're gonna. I think that the incoming leads are still gonna happen. It may not be as much as we're used to, so therefore we have no choice but to go deeper on follow up. The next pivot we're doing is, rather than just trying to call them, email them, text them, is we're getting out to their door. So, our sales associates are actually going to the door, knocking on the door, saying, "Hey, we spoke 2 weeks ago. Do you guys absolutely need to do something?" And we're finding those people that need to sell. Everybody else, we're putting off to 2025, right? It's just, it's not not disqualify Fastly, but let's just figure out those that are maybe not right now, and let's push them off, right? That's all we can control. So deep follow up, deep into our database, and out the doors.
Yeah, let me offer this one thing. And again, this is from a guy who has $0 in the game. So throw it away if you hate the idea. If I look at the map, or I look at the timeline, and I realize where we are and where I think we'll be in the spring, I think you have an opportunity to buy your best deals of the last 5 years and sell into a rising market. And I'm not talking rising prices, I'm talking rising activity. Why do I say that? Kind of your example earlier, right? Stuff's not selling. You go out to a property you don't think you can get, you write a stupid offer and they say yes.
Right.
I think the next 3 months, like let's say September, October, let's say until the end of December, this is the time that Adrian and team gets hyper aggressive. You should probably write more disrespectful offers in the next 4 months than you wrote in the last 12. This is a numbers game. And I want your offers to be 5, 10, 15% below where your systems say they should be. Because I don't want you to buy everything. I want you to buy 5 or 6 of the most amazing deals that you did not think were possible. That's what I want you to do. And again, these are going to be below the median. So you have multiple exits. And then, because we both know how long it takes to close, flip, and then relist, you're going to be relisting these probably in February. And if I'm right about lower rates, marginal demand coming back, below the median being the most hottest part of the market, you can recognize outside gains, but it is always with the buy. I want you to buy 5, 10, or 15% below where your systems say they are. Take this little buyer's window, take all of that marketing dollars, that outbound team, and go, guys, we are going to be more aggressive and more active because we are going to exit this party with huge profits in February, March, and April. How's that feel?
I love it. I'm going into a meeting right after this, so that's exactly what I am doing. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I love that. I love that. Yeah. And you're right, because they're going to say yes.
You have this little window where buying activity is down, so buy for cheap. Don't spend an extra 30 grand if you don't have to. Make that part of the margin, right? And then you're going to get perfect timing selling into that tailwind of the new spring selling season.
So good, Zuber. So good.
I'll let you buy me dinner.
What was that?
I said, I'll let you buy me dinner if it works out.
I would be honored to buy you dinner. Even if it doesn't work out, I'm still buying you dinner.
Adrian, if people wanted to check out Orange County, Southern California, be part of the team, get educated, where do I send them?
Guys, find me on Instagram at Adrian Hernandez. And if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, do so. You guys, there is a massive event that's going on in February. If you haven't done so already, get your ticket. You guys don't want to miss it. Zuber, I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Take care. Thanks.